happening? So, I am watching the fights tonight. I don't know why I started my life like that. That was a bit weird, wasn't it? Let's just unplug this. Very unprepared tonight, as usual. Let me just close this door. Give me a second. 1 second. Yo, we're back, boys. Right, so tonight is fight night, baby. It's pushing just gone 6:30. It's 32 minutes past. And the prelims are actually live on YouTube now for the Moses Atama and Dillian White fight. So you can actually head over to the Zone. This is not a plug, obviously. But yeah, if you head over to the Zone now, just a quick heads up, you can actually watch the prelims and catch the first couple of fights there, which is great. So it's just going to be a quick one tonight, to be honest. But I did just want to jump on and talk about the boxing, and then we'll finish off with the UFC. Yeah. Shout out to AC Milan. Yeah. Check this out for a t-shirt, mate. Are you having a laugh? Kaka on the back. Old school, mate. Who remembers that? Old school. Proper stuff, mate. Proper stuff. Anyway, so we'll start off with the Filip Herovic and David Adelaide fight. Right? Now, Filip Herovic, he was at one stage, just this. He was at one stage, he was the boogeyman of the heavyweight division. Yeah? At one stage, everyone was scared of him until it was Daniel Dubois who took him on and obviously put on a decent performance and come away with a victory. And then since then, he's sort of lost his sparkle, Filip Herovic, which is a bit of a shame, to be honest. But he's fighting David Adelaide tonight, and to be honest, David Adelaide, I ain't his biggest fan, mate. I'm not going to say I dislike the guy. I don't really dislike anyone. That's a massive lie. Yeah, I do. I dislike everyone. No, I'm only joking. But for a guy to have such a massive ego in David Adelaide, yeah, his performance in the ring doesn't equivalent to the ego that he's got. He's got the ego of like some like proper hard, like been there and done it geezer, you know what I mean? And the guy gets absolutely bowled over every single time. Yes, Kenny. Yes, Calvin. 6'7", 6'7", 1-2. Blah 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 moing. But yeah, so Filip Herovic and David Adelaide. My predictions would be, I actually feel like David Adelaide would actually take this, but there is always a but. Yeah. I didn't really like David Adelaide's performance when he was last out, and I also didn't like Filip Herovic's performance last out, to be honest. Yes, Marcus, what's happening, brother? So I'm a bit 50-50, but I will actually push for David Adelaide. Yeah. Yes, Fury, brother, watching it in Korea. Nice. Yeehaw to you, my friend. So we'll go with David Adelaide by stoppage in the 10th round. Just bear with me a second. Got to go and let the dog in. Oh my God. Hi, mate. Yeah, so we'll go with David Adelaide. Next on the agenda is Ray Ford versus Abraham Nova. I would go with Ray Ford, yeah. Purely, I haven't watched much of Ray Ford, but purely based on... Yo, what's up, Trash Kid? Yo, what's up, Mishra, Russian winner. Ray Ford and Abraham Nova. I know Ray Ford had a split decision with Nick Ball in New Jersey for the world title. And he put on a decent performance. I ain't going to lie to you, you know what I mean? I can't lie. So you've got to go with Ray Ford, mate. You've got to go with Ray Ford. You know what I mean? Bosh, moving on to the next one. Nick Ball versus Sam Goodman, yeah? Now, Sam Goodman is an undefeated fighter from Australia. So this should be a good fight, because he ain't here just to lie down. Yes, Trash Kid. British, of course, brother. I ain't British, I'm English. But yeah, I reckon this Sam Goodman is going to put it on Nick Ball's toes. Now, Nick Ball, yeah, he's been dubbed the Mike Tyson of boxing at the minute, yeah. He's putting in some serious work, mate. Woo! He's putting in some serious work. He's knocking out people left, right, and centre. He had a draw with what's that? It's not Vargas, is it? Oh, what's that guy called? He had a draw with, and he absolutely battered him around the ring. It was for the WBC title. I can't remember his name. What's his name? Someone help me out. Someone help me out. Hi, sir. I'm a person male. All right. Okay. Sound. Trash kid. You owe. Have you owe? What does that mean? What does you owe mean? Chester. As a Japanese, you look badass. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Chester. Yes, Chester. What's happening, mate? Oh, it's asking me to log in. Oh, this is a nightmare. Just bear with me a second, folks. 1 second. We'll just get up Nick Ball's box rec. Was it Vargas? I don't think it was Vargas. 1 sec. Nick Ball. I should have had all this prepared, shouldn't I, really? Like I say, I just wanted to jump on a quick live. Nick Ball. Nick the Wrecking Ball. You looking hard. Cheers. Cheers, mate. Looking hard, yeehaw, nice one. Yo, can we spam the likes, please, in the live? Let's get this live pumping. Ray Vargas, yeah, and it was for the WBC title. Now, Nick Ball was super unlucky to not get that decision. You know what I mean? Because he pinged him around the ring for 12 rounds, and British Cowboy, yeah, boy, you know that, mate. Yeah, he pinged him around the ring for 12 rounds, and yeah, I don't know what was going on with the decision in that, yeah, but Vargas was down in the 8th and the 11th and still come away with a draw. How do you come away with a draw after being down twice? Rigged? I don't know. Is that what you meant? Right, so moving on. Moses Atoma versus Dillian White. And moving on. So, boys, what we saying? Now, I got proper English. To be fair, I am northern. I'm seriously northern. So I say, have you got a bottle of water? Have you got a bottle of water? Not a bottle of water. Are you from America, by the way, Trash Kid? Because I love America, by the way. I'm going back next year, flying over to Miami, traveling through Florida, into Atlanta, Georgia, straight over to Nashville, Tennessee, straight over to Washington, D.C., through Philly, Manhattan, fly back home. Abosh. Right, okay, so we'll move into the main event of the boxing, yeah, before my battery dies on my phone. Great, lovely stuff, and I love it. Everybody's writing off Dillian White. I hate BRT. What is BRT? I don't know. I don't know what BRT is, you know what I mean? No entiendo. So, Moses Atoma and Dillian White, everybody's writing off Dillian White, right? He's 37 and he's got a load of ring rust, yeah? His last performance weren't too shabby. And I love him. Do you hate British and you love him at the same time? Is that what you're trying to say? You love me and you hate me at the same time? Well, unfortunately, mate, I'm a swell guy, and if you got to know me, you know what I mean, I'm sure you'd like me. Well, I'm from the Philippines, bro. I'm trying to learn most accents and language, mate. You know what, bro? To be fair, just before we dive straight into this, your English, when you write it out, is perfect, mate. Philippines, I'd love to travel to the Philippines. I've heard good things, and I've heard it's got a lot of good people, the Philippines. So yeah, that is definitely next on my agenda. Other than doing lives about fighting, I also do a traveling YouTube channel. So this channel, if you head over and drop me a sub, it'd be much appreciated. At the minute, I'm not doing much travelling, so I'm doing a lot of vlogs in my hometown. But at the end of this year, I'm sure I'll go away somewhere. And next year, I've got a massive road trip in America, and I'm off to Crete as well. I've never been to Crete, so that'll be great. Nice hood. Got no hood, mate. Got a bald head. Wow! Right, anyway, let's jump into this Moses Atoma stuff. Yeah, so Dillian White's probably come in the best shape of his career, which is insane. I've never thought I would see Dillian White with abs at 37. Yeah. I'm 31 and I haven't got abs. You know what I mean? Obviously, I'm not a professional athlete. You know what I mean? I'm a professional nobody. But yeah, man, it's a bit of a tricky one, Dillian White, because realistically, his skill-wise, he isn't a good boxer. He isn't a good boxer. I'm sure everyone can say with a chest, he is not a good boxer. He's a good brawler. You won't want to barge into him at a bar or at a pub or anything like that because, you know what I mean, you probably end up worse for wear. So, you can block me. Say, mate, our house built like caves, bro. Yeah, man, Philippines, I will definitely go there at some point. But Dillian White, if he catches Moses Atama, or Toma, whatever you want to call him, Moses Atama, if he catches him, this kid's going to know about it. But also, he's like 19 years of age. I think he's in 19, 20. So when you're that age, you're borderline and immortal. Think about when you was 20, 21. You know what I mean? You could run through brick walls at that age. You know what I mean? So I'm sure he'll recover unless he gets flatlined, which there is a possibility. But my money would be on Moses Itama. Itama. I'm still not going to get that. Can you post for me? There you go, mate. Screenshot that. Yeah, so my money would be on Moses, purely down to his boxing ability, because I've never seen Dillian White reach the caliber of skill in terms of boxing ability that Moses has now. Dillian White has never, ever had access to that. So, do I see him skill-wise? Do I see him winning, Dillian White? No, I feel like he'd get his ears boxed off. But we'll find out soon because we've only got a couple of hours. And then the fight's on, Chief. You know what I mean? Do me a favour, Gurav, is that how you say your name? Drop me a sub, mate. It's nice speaking to you, brother. But yeah, hopefully you can tune into the vlogs, mate. But yeah, anyway, so let's get back into it. And Moses Atama, it's either going to go Dillian White stoppage in the late rounds. So I reckon around about 9 or 10. If it ever reaches there, I've got a feeling that Dillian White will pull it out of the bag. But I could also be wrong. By the way, boys, just spam the likes for the live, and then it'll start getting pushed. And then hopefully more people can join in, you know what I mean? Bash. Yeah, Moses Atama by stoppage in early bells, like round 5, round 6. But if it goes into deep waters, I've got Dillian White. Yeah, I have got Dillian White. That'll be so interesting, mate. So interesting. This is such a good matchup, though. Like, they dropped the whole wanted to break Mike Tyson's record for being the youngest heavyweight in the world, you know what I mean? Oh, I wanted to break Mike Tyson's record. Why are you chasing greatness like that? You know what I mean? Mike Tyson fought 18 times in a year. It's not the same. It's not. People take it a lot more serious now. I'm not saying they didn't then, but the people who was facing Mike Tyson back in the day, they're not the athletes they are today. And it's just the reality of it. It's like, you know, when people get these hypothetical situations where they're like, could Moses Atama mix it with the legends back in the 80s? Yeah, he probably could. He probably could, let's be honest. And he'd probably beat majority of them. You know what I'm saying? It's like when people compare it in the UFC. It's like, oh, do you reckon Chuck Liddell could mix it now with the light heavyweights now? Probably, yeah. He'd probably get bowled over. You know what I mean? It's one of them. No, he wouldn't. Do you not think the Iceman wouldn't get bowled over in today's light heavyweight division? I think him and Pereira would be a great matchup, but I also think Pereira would just absolutely lever him. But Chuck Liddell, bro. Love Chuck Liddell, the Iceman, one of my favourite fighters. I love his shorts. Yeah, if anyone remembers Chuck Liddell, iconic shorts, mate, the ice picks and stuff like that. Boom. Right, anyway, so we'll start off with my picks. So I got David Adelaide by stoppage, Ray Ford by decision. It could go a draw, but we'll go with Nick Ball by decision, and then we'll go with Moses Atama by early stoppage in the 6th round. So heading over to UFC 319. Yeah. Now I am a casual. Yeah, I am a casual. So me, being a bit lackadaisy, didn't check on the card, and I heard Barboza. Can you hear my dogs kicking off? Honestly, nightmares. I got a little Chihuahua Yorkshire Terrier, and she's running around the house like she owns it. So whatever. Dion Barboza. Now I thought it was the male fighter Barboza with his nasty kicks, mate. He was one of my favourite fighters back in his heyday. Oh, he is. Wow, what am I talking about? Oh, he is fighting. What? Dion Barboza and Edson Barboza are both fighting. There is no way they're related. If they are, that's crazy. No, they're not related because Edson Barboza is spelled with a Z and Dion Barboza is spelled with an S. Okay, I'm a little bit not on the money tonight. So we'll jump straight into it. I'm not going to go through the early prelims because I'm not MMA guru. Yeah, I'm a casual fan. I used to be a little bit more serious back in the day when like Chris Lieben and Rory McDonald and stuff like that, and you know what I mean, when people were fighting back in the day who I looked up to when I was fighting. But now I'm an old man. I'm a bald old man, if you didn't know. So yeah. Getting on a bit now, so I've become a little bit of a casual and I just tune in now and then. So when it becomes like massive fights like tonight, I'll tune in, of course. How can I not? You know what I mean? When you got Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus du Plessis fighting as the main event, it's too good not to watch. You know what I mean? Let's have a little spam of this chat. No, he wouldn't. No, Moses wouldn't be most of the older generation. Do you not think? It sounds mad that because back in the day they used to smoke in the changing rooms, and now you wouldn't dream of doing stuff like that. So I don't know. You're a UFC watcher. Yes, Trash Kid, I am. I'm a casual UFC watcher. Back in the day, I remember watching UFC 117. Now, I can't remember who was on the card and what happened, but I remember writing a Facebook status about it, and I looked at my memories, and it was like UFC 117, and I was like, geez, I've been watching this for a long time. Fell out of love with it, stopped fighting, grew a little older, a little bolder, and here I am now picking it back up. I've watched it for the last 3 years now, and yeah. I can tell you're from Liverpool, am I right? You would be wrong, Tyler. I'm from Manchester. I'm a Mancunian, mate. Liverpool Scousers have a lot stronger accent than me. Sometimes I struggle working out what they said, and they're only 45 minutes at a push, depending on where you are in Manchester, sorry. I am watching this in 10 to 2 in the morning. Jeez. Well, thank you for tuning in, brother. Why don't you wear a wig? You know what, Tyler? I'm so content with having a bald head, and to be honest, it's a lot more, a little less messing about in the morning. Do you know what I mean? Have a wash, brush my teeth, and I'm out the door, mate. I'm gone. Also, I feel like if you're insecure about your hair, then you probably don't have much substance as a human or as an individual. So yeah, if you're solely relying on looks, I don't know. That's my take on it. Whereas I don't. I've got a personality, and they're also free. So how not? AC Milan, bro. Yeah, I know. But you know what? This shirt has my favourite player on the back. So let me show you. Kaka, mate. Kaka was a G. Yeah, if you didn't know about Kaka and him ripping up Manchester United, mate, back in the day, when he headed the ball through and Gabriel Ence hit Patrice Evra, I think it was Patrice Evra, and they just collided into each other, and then he just slotted it bottom corner, mate. You know what I mean? It was sick. Are you a Jew? No, I'm not. I'm a Christian, my man. I am a Christian. Yeah, Kaka was good and humble. Yeah, you know what? He was humble. Did you ever see that that video of that guy when he was playing five-a-side in London. I think Kaka just randomly turned up out of nowhere, and yeah, was like playing five-a-side with these guys, and was like, pull it, and then Kaka just rocketed it top corner, mate. You don't ever ask Kaka to pull it, you know what I mean? So yeah, so anyway, so we're going to jump into this UFC card. Edson Barboza fighting Drakkar Klose. Very German name, very German name for a fighter who's from the United States. So my bet would be, I'd go with Barboza because I don't even know the other guy, I can't lie to you. Chase Hooper, I've heard of him. Dogs barking, I'm going to go and shut the door, just bear with me a second. Goal time for football, absolutely. One of the best matches I ever witnessed was the Champions League final 2005, Liverpool versus AC Milan. And yeah, man, AC Milan had a bit of a nightmare, can't lie. I'm not a big supporter of AC Milan, I just like football, you see. I've got United tops, I've got all sorts of tops upstairs. Obviously, United is my childhood club. Right, anyway, Chase Hooper, we'll go with Chase Hooper. He's fighting Alexander Hernandez, fighting out of America with a Spanish name or Mexican name. Let's have a look. Right, okay, so going on to the main card, we've got Tim Elliott versus Kai Asukara. We'll go with Asukara. Michael Venom Page, yeah, MVP, versus Jared Canier. I don't know how to say his name. Whatever, mate. Oh, nice, man, from Japan. Sick, bro. That writing next to your name, though, your name seems a bit Thailandish. Is that correct? Is that right? Or is it not? I don't know. But you know what? I would love to see MVP take this with his little KSI stance. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's not KSI stance. He originated it, and I'm sure they fight out the same gym. So, if anything, KSI's copied Michael Venom Page. But yeah, man, I'd love to see some sort of sick knockout from MVP. That would be so sick. Do you remember back in the day, right? I always used to question why he was never in the UFC early. You know what I mean? It took him ages. He's 37 now and he's in the UFC. So you know what I mean? It's a bit of a wild one. I mean, he had a good fight against the Pirate last fight out, and he put on a good show. You know what I mean? He made it awkward, and he got the decision in the end. You know what I mean? It was only 3 rounds though, obviously. But mate, pushed the pace. No, he didn't push the pace, but he countered a lot. You know what I mean? I feel like the Pirate was pushing the pace, but he just wasn't good enough. You know what I mean? I feel like he reacted to. He didn't react enough. Sorry, William. One sec. Let's have a look. Maniac Main. I'm just really excited for this Ankalaev and Pereira too. You know what, bro? It's going to be an easy night for Ankalaev. I hate saying it. I really hate saying it. I don't want to say that. But it's just going to be another easy night. Yeah, I've got a feeling that Ankalaev will eventually take him down. And then, you know what I mean, it's another belt going back to Dagestan, and they're not fighting for another 2 years. It's just the way the world works in the UFC at the minute. Dagestan fighter comes in, out wrestles people, grips onto a set of legs for 5 rounds, claims the belt, and then doesn't fight for 2 years. Great, nice, spoiled the whole roster. William, whoever told you that hat looks good is lying. No one said it looks good, but I like it, so whatever. But nobody can compare Eric Cantona. He was amazing. Yeah, he was amazing. He was also an icon as well. I think, was it the chip that he did against Middlesbrough, and he just stood there like an absolute G with his collar up like that. What a guy, mate. What a guy. Aura. Whatever that means. Also, I think the same. Yeah, it's terrible. You know what I mean? It's just the way that it's sort of like division works, really. Not division, sorry. Organisation works, sorry, UFC. Dagestanis come in, take a belt and don't fight for 2 years, and you know what I mean? It just goes stale. You got to get yourself some cowboy boots. Brother, I got myself some cowboy boots. I come back from Nashville last year. You know, I reckon DDP might shock tonight with a KO. I would love DDP to hit Hamzat with a KO. Yeah, with his little awkward stance, just swinging, boom, hitting with an overhand left or an overhand right, whatever you fancy. Down goes Hamzat. That would be sick. Yo, trash kid, what's happening? DDP by accident. Yeah, DDP by accident. Oh, that's funny. Right, anyway, moving on. We got Jeff Neal and Carlos Pratt. I'm not bothered about that fight. Lerone Murphy from Manchester, boy, against Aaron Pico. We'll go with Lerone Murphy. He's undefeated at the minute. He's obviously got 1 draw, 16 wins. He's got 7 wins by knockout and 6 first round finishes. So we'll go with him by finish. Oh, I'm on 4% and I can't charge my phone. No. Maybe I can actually. Just bear with me a second because I'm actually really enjoying this live. Right, 1 sec. Give me a second, please. Let's try and get this on charge. It is possible. It really is. It really, really is. He's such an awkward guy, DDP. It's weird. There we go. We're up and running. He really is. But yeah, so we'll come back to that in a minute, JP. It is possible though. Yeah, I get it. But Lerone Murphy, I'm hoping by stoppage. Come on, computer. Yeah, so the guy who's fighting's actually got 4 losses on his record. I shouldn't be doing that. That's well disrespectful. Whatever. I'll probably never see this Aaron Pico ever. So Lerone Murphy, fingers crossed, mate, gets a highlight reel knockout and gets a knockout of the night, fight of the night, bonus of the night, whatever of the night. You know what I mean? What do you think of Islam versus Jade? Isn't it? You know what, mate? I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like Islam Makhachev is gonna. He's probably It's out of him or Ilia Topuria. Them two need to fight for starters. Yeah. JDM. I'd love to see JDM beat him. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would love to see JDM beat him. Who wouldn't? You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I feel like it'll be an easy night for Islam. Which is it's a shame, really, because you know these Dagestanis, mate, when they start struggling and stuff on the feet, they just go straight to the double leg, take you down. What can you do? You know what I mean? You sat there paralysed, just not being able to do anything, getting absolutely pounded. That was a bit weird to say. Please eat chicken. No. Homeboy is about to fly away with those ears. Absolutely, brother. I love my big ears. Check this out. Oh yes, you can't do that, but I can. Yeah, man. Anyway, so we'll move on to the main event. DDP versus Hamzat Chimaev. Now, this is an interesting fight, to say the least, my friend. This is a very interesting fight. DDP has proved his worth. Yeah, he's worthy to be the champion. I think he's actually undefeated in the UFC at this minute in time. If you eat anything right now, I will sub. I've literally just had my tea, my friend. So yeah, no, I'm alright, thanks, bro. Nice way to call me skinny, but I'm actually not that skinny. It's just this top's absolutely huge on me. So it's an XL, and I'm an X. Yeah, he has got 2 losses, bro. But I think he's undefeated within the UFC. You have a 6-pack, Shane. No, I don't have a 6-pack. But if you head over to my Instagram at 10 Sterling Jewel, you'll be able to see me in shape with a 6-pack. And it was when I was banging the gym hard, mate. You know what I mean? And putting the work in, mate. Whereas now, I'm trying to make it in this YouTube game, and I'm working full time, and it's a lot at the minute. But what an excuse that was! Probably should start smashing the gym again. But anyway, where am I from in England? From Greater Manchester, mate. Right. Okay. So DDP, read out his record. He's got 23 wins and 2 losses on his record, whereas Khamzat Chimaev has 14 wins, 0 losses, 0 draws. He's got 6 wins by knockout, 6 wins by submission, and 9 first-round finishes. Yeah? Now, the most impressive first-round finish was when he absolutely mauled Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland did not know what the hell was going on. He didn't have a clue, Kevin Holland. And you know what? You know what's really funny about that, right? So, sorry, my phone's way. Oh, I can actually rotate it. It's locked. Well, I never knew that. Never ever knew that. Obviously, you can tell I'm a bot when it comes to technology. But yeah, man. What really does matter about Kevin Holland, I always used to like that guy for how mouthy he was until he went on the podcast with Rampage Jackson. I've seen your leaks, bro. You need to chill with the baby oil. What are you talking about, my friend? Yo, what's happening? You've got a Greek name. Not going to be able to pronounce it, but yo, sick. I love England. Okay. You look like the Temu version of Woody from Toy Story. Nice one, dude. I love English people. Right, okay, you love English people. Great news. But yeah, so Kevin Holland went on Rampage Jackson's podcast and just give him a load of grief, mate, and try to give him an hard time. Was super, super cocky. You know what I mean? And obviously forgot that arse whooping that Khamzat Chimaev gave him. Clearly forgot it too quick. Mount Rushmore of UFC fighters. Is that Mount Rushmore of the best fighters, or my personal opinion, who I like to watch, who's also good, blah, blah, blah. Make England great again, okay, whatever. Whereabouts are you from? I'm from Greater Manchester, brother. So I'll tell you what then, what we'll do, Mount Rushmore of UFC, so who I like to watch personally. My Mount Rushmore obviously has to be McGregor. If McGregor isn't up there, then you know what I mean. Then you're smoking something, mate, because he completely changed the game forever. You know what I mean. It made me fall in love with back in love with the sport. So yeah. Out immigrants, right, brother? This is not the live for that. Yeah, we're talking about fight night tonight. Manny in the building. Come on. Yes, brother. Mount Rushmore of UFC, man. Shit. Chuck Liddell. Jones. McGregor. I want to say GSP, but honestly, I can't. His fights were super boring. Anderson Silva. And another person who I absolutely used to love to watch was either Brock Lesnar or Lyoto Machida. I've never been as excited for a fight until Brock Lesnar comes out. Like, mate, when that guy had a presence about him. The guy was like fucking a super, super giant. He was loaded to the gills on steads, but either way, you know what I mean? Frankie Edgar, nah. Khabib, yeah, but I just don't like the way he fights, man. I like entertainment, you know what I mean? I'm not too bothered about winning. He would definitely, Khabib would be up there, obviously, Mount Rushmore for quality fighters, 100%. You can't deny it, you know what I mean? The guy's a beast, mate. GSP was great, no doubt, but his style was low-key boring. Yeah, man, his style was like super boring to watch, you know what I mean? Like, I think if GSP was in today's era and no one knew who GSP was, Dana White would probably cut him. You know what I mean? Super boring guy. That's an interesting take, what I've just said there, and I'll probably get a load of backlash on the internet, but you know what, who cares? I'm from Newcastle, up in the time, all mine, up in the time, all mine. Alistair Overeem, you know what, when Alistair Overeem was on the juice, mate, that guy was a beast. McGregor became bigger than the sport itself. You can't leave him out as the GOAT. Yeah, he did. Lyoto Machida was a beast, by the way, Hassan. But yeah, man, he did become bigger than the sport, sort of like McGregor as a brand. And I think at the time as well, I think you could agree with me that the UFC sort of relied on McGregor to bring in the numbers, to bring in the stardom, sort of. And yeah, man, it felt like the UFC really relied on him, and he was sort of, I can do what I want, but rightfully so. Mighty Mouse, man, yeah, you forget about Mighty Mouse, you know what I mean? Mighty Mouse, shit, man, forgot about Mighty Mouse. Wow. What a guy, mate. What a guy. What a fighter. What a fighter. You know what's funny? What makes me laugh about Mighty Mouse is Bradley Martin called him out. Bradley Martin called Mighty Mouse out, saying that he would beat him. I'm not being funny. You would bet your house on Mighty Mouse to destroy Bradley Martin, because I know that Bradley Martin, Logan Paul, they met up there to fight, and Logan Paul absolutely smoked him. So you can imagine that a 15-time world champion in Mighty Mouse would absolutely beat the brakes off Bradley Martin and Logan Paul. So, you know what I mean? Exactly. Mighty Mouse by whatever he wants. You don't understand the skill that this guy has, right? Do you ever remember seeing where he threw that guy up, caught him mid-air and threw him in an armbar? Mate, that is some serious skill. Imagine, right? It also goes back to that meme where, I don't know if you've ever seen that meme of Triple G, where he's just stood there, like, obviously he's the thin guy, he's quite small, and he's just stood there in a polo shirt and a pair of jeans, and the meme was something like, it's funny how 99% of people think this guy can fight, and it was like some big bodybuilder, but only the 1% know that this guy is an absolute monster. And it's completely true. People like Triple G, who are small, slim, Mighty Mouse, who are small and slim, these people are not here to mess about, mate. They've trained the body for a certain purpose. They don't have to pack on a shitload of muscle to persuade people that they can fight. You know what I mean? You think Ilya could become one of the GOATs after beating Islam? He probably is already one of the GOATs. I think the minute you become a double champion in 2 weight divisions, or you become a champion in 2 different weight divisions, you're undefeated. He could lose his next 10 fights and still have a great legacy. I feel like, not 10 fights, but the next 5 fights, you know what I mean, and still have a great legacy. He's got more wins than losses, a 2-division champion. The guy is one of the best in it. Do you think DDP takes the W if he does goes the distance? Yeah, 100%. I think it's no secret that Khamzat Chimaev has the worst gas tank, arguably, in the whole of the UFC. Yeah, if he can't get you out of there within 2 rounds, you know what I mean, that boy is finished. But I know he's been working with a specialist in cardio, who I believe that he was some sort of cyclist. I forgot his name now, and he's been working on a lot of his what's it called, cardio. So we'll see where that leads him tonight. You know what I mean? Whether it'll play in his factor, I don't know. But that is an interesting take. You know what I mean? But he's also known for overtraining, Khamzat. So you just don't know. Valid, yeah. What is the one rematch you would like to see again? McGregor and Aldo. Yeah, give that another run. Wouldn't mind seeing that. Not gonna lie to you. I would also like to see, let's say for instance, a fantasy match. Yeah, I would like to see Brock Lesnar versus Tom Aspinall, both in the prime. That would be sick. Imagine that for a fight. 2 natural monsters going at it, mate. Hey, you having a laugh? McGregor's never fighting again. Yeah, absolutely. He's never fighting again. The guy's, what did he sell his, he sold his shares in that proper 12, and I'm sure he got something stupid like 300 million. Let me have a look. McGregor sale of proper 12. Let's have a look. Conor McGregor sells majority of whisker, proper number 12, to Proximo Sport for 600 million. If you think that man is getting out the cage, he's getting in the cage when you've got 600 million sat in the bank, you're mad. He lives on a yacht. He lives on a mega yacht. He ain't getting in that cage. He ain't getting in that cage. He's back in the testing pool now, right? He's back in the testing pool now, right? And he's training. He's showing glimpses, little clips on Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that of him sparring, soft sparring with like a bunch of nobodies. But yeah, he's just wanting that White House card. Like, so is everybody. Everybody's wanting the White House card. Jones, retiring, boom, back in the testing pool. Turn out 30 million, right? He probably could have beat Tom Aspinall. In my book, right, if you look at Tom Aspinall, this guy is the most overhyped person ever. Yeah. Purely down to one factor. Yeah, he's a natural heavyweight, he's a monster, he's a powerhouse. Credit where credit is due. The minute someone starts swinging, he can't take a step back without lifting his chin up and swinging it backwards. Yeah, he can't just stay central and jockey backwards. You know what I mean? He's chin up in the air, swinging it left, right, and centre. And let's be honest, Tom Aspinall's got a big arch chin, mate. Guy that's like crimson chin out fairly apparent. Guy's got a quagmire chin, and he's swinging that about. Are you mad? Against Johnny Bones. Johnny Bones will smoke that boy. I'm telling you now. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing and a string, mate. Let's have a look at these comments. What do you think about Islam versus JDM? We've already had that one, bro. I think Islam will beat him, but I'd love to see JDM knock him out. McGregor versus Aldo, but I would want Khabib versus McGregor. That would be sick. That would be sick. That would be so sick. Yeah, that would be great. But I think it'll just be the same. You know what I mean? The build up to that though, insane. The build up to that, the promos. Oh my gosh, that would be insane. Oh, that would be so good. Hassan, they're having a bit of beef between each other. You just argue it out. He's probably getting KO'd by Jake Paul in a few years. Yeah, probably. But you know what? Listen, everybody gives Jake Paul a load of stick. Now here's my take on it. Anything you practice, you'll get good at. Anything you practice, you will get. If you consume, and you dedicate yourself, right, to boxing, you're going to become a good boxer. Doesn't he live in Puerto Rico? The guy lives in Puerto Rico. I'm sure it's either Puerto Rico or some sort of island like that. And he secluded himself. Yeah, no distractions. He's got a missus. Yeah, so there's no distractions from women. He's a multi-millionaire, so he's got access to all the facilities, access to all the sparring, access to all the recovery equipment. You know what I mean? He will be decent. Everyone like gives him stick because he used to be on the Disney Channel, and he's fighting retired UFC fighters. So what? So what? If you look at all these boxers now, right, and go on BoxRec, I guarantee you the first 10 fights that they have are absolutely nobodies because boxing's all rigged. It's all full of journeymen who come in, on short notice half the time. They come for a little paycheck just to roll over, just to stand there, look stiff, throw a 1-2, get knocked out or get dropped by a body shot. You know what I mean? They go down, get paid, and off the pop onto the next one the next weekend. Yeah, boxing is the most corrupt sport ever. Telling you now. Load of journeymen. You know what I mean? So, if boxing, was true to its word, there should never be a thing such as a journeyman. Because everybody knows what a journeyman is. You understand? You come in, you get paid, you roll over, and then you go out, bam, see you later, cartwheel out the door with your £2 grand paycheck. Nice one. You don't have to sell any tickets in the early shows. You don't have to do nothing. You get a phone call, hello, turn up at this date, turn up at this time, sound, then you get dropped or you get knocked out. You know what I mean? It's no surprise that Journeyman have got 3 wins, 400 losses and a draw. You know what I mean? You'd probably get a win on accident. You know what I mean? If you've had 500 fights. Let's read some of these comments. But his reputation is not like before. Yeah, absolutely. John would beat Aspinall in his prime 100%, but not now. I actually believe... I actually think John Jones will beat him now. Sucks to say it. But yeah, man. I actually feel like John Jones will beat Aspinall now. I don't think Aspinall's that great, to be honest. I hate saying that about a fellow like Englishman, but yeah, man, he just doesn't do it for me. He just really just doesn't do it for me. And he's not really fought anyone massive, you know what I mean? If you fought like a Derek Lewis, listen to this. This is how bad the division is in the UFC at the minute now, the heavyweight division. If you're an English person, yeah, because I feel like the UFC could create a rivalry between you and Tom Aspinall and make a load of shows, yeah. So let's say you're from England, you're 5-0, yeah, against a bunch of journeymen. Obviously, you're a pro MMA heavyweight. If you've got those attributes, you're a pro, you're 5-0, you're from England, yeah, you're a natural heavyweight, you've got a contract in the UFC, 1,000,000%. That's how poor the division is. That's how poo, yeah, the people are who are in charge of the UFC. Yeah, that. Honestly, you don't understand. These people couldn't organise anything. They're terrible. Yeah, how they've let that division go stale like that. The heavyweight division. You've let it go stale like that. Crazy, mate. Crazy. Oh my God, I could never, honestly. Whoever's in charge, right, of the matchmaking and stuff like that needs to be sacked ASAP. Hello, I'm new to this channel. Please don't shame me for that. Don't worry about it, brother. Everybody's new to the channel. UFC is for babies. What other sport would you suggest it isn't for babies then? Help Askren. Nah, did he help Ben Askren on his lung transplant for like 500k? Props to him. I think he said he was going to. I don't know if he did. I can't speak for anyone, but I know Ben Askren did a video not that long ago, and he was outing people who said they was gonna donate and they didn't. So I don't know if it was in that list because I didn't watch it. I just clicked on it and clicked off it. Tom will beat Sirogan. Honestly, I could name like 10 doormen from Manchester who beat Sirogan at this rate. Yeah, that is the only threat. Once he's beat Sirogan, where does that division go? Where does the division go? It doesn't go anywhere. So Aspinall's sat on the sidelines forever, and then what they'll do, they'll wait for Ankalaev to take down Pereira for 5 rounds. Pereira will shit his pants and think, oh, I need to cash in because I'm on my last legs, I'm 38, and I need a big fight. So then he'll move up to heavyweight and have a fight with Tom Aspinall. I called it first. Boring. John is not like the guy. The guy doesn't want to fight anymore. Yeah, he doesn't. He really doesn't want to fight anymore. John Jones just does not want to fight anymore. He must have made some serious coin. You know what I mean? He must have made some serious dollars, mate. I'm telling you now. To turn down 30 million quid. 30 mil. 30 mil. That's crazy, that, brother. 30 mil. You know what I mean? It's a lot of money, that. 30 million quid? I mean, I'm sure he's not shy of a few million. Right, anyway, so I'm going to wrap this up very soon. But what we're going to do is we're going to go over the scenario of what's going to happen in tonight's main event. DDP versus Khamzat Chimaev. My pick would be... It's either going to be 2 outcomes, right? Obviously, they can't happen at the same time. So we'll go DDP by stoppage in the 4th. Khamzat is full of exhaustion. He can't cope with the pressure. He ain't coping with that constant pressure that DDP's putting on people. So it's going to be DDP by 4th round stoppage, or it's going to be a very, very early night for DDP. Hamzat's going to stop him early bells. Those are the only two outcomes. If it goes past the second round, DDP will win. And I hope DDP knocks out Hamzat. I don't hope, but like, I would like to see that. I would like to see that outcome. Imagine that. Imagine the uproar. I'm going to be knackered tonight, mate. I'm going to be absolutely shattered. Staying up and watching these. Top 3 baddies of UFC. That's crazy. Damn. You're putting that on me. That is crazy. Is it Paige Van Zandt? Or is that what she's called? Yeah, Paige Van Zandt. Damn, that's a good one, that. What was that girl's name, man, who stopped Holly... What's she called? Miesha Tate. Miesha Tate. Yeah, Miesha Tate and... Fuck Rose, because she got a bald head. That would be crazy. Imagine that. Me and Fuck Rose on a date, sat there like that, 2 boulders. Right. Robbie Sano, sorry brother, Hamzat is beating DDP. Oh, don't, man, don't. I know, I've got a feeling he's going to beat him, but I hope not. Are you staying up watching it or sleeping early? No, so what I'll do is, I used to be able to stay up. I can't stay up anymore. I'm getting too old for it, you know what I mean? Because the minute I stay up past 12 o'clock at my age, I'm going on like I'm an old man. I'm not that old. I'm literally just turned 30ish. But yeah, so the minute I stay up past 12, that's me done for days, mate. I ain't recovering. So what I'll do is I'll watch the boxing tonight, and then I'll set an alarm for about R3, and then I'll get up. Woo! Right, so yeah, so that's the outcome basically. If I had to put my money on it, I would put my money on Hamzat. Yeah. Be at 4 a.m, right? I'm assuming so, but I like to watch sort of like the build up to it. So I'll get up at about R3, watch the fight, and then head back to sleep. Probably shattered. And then what I'll do is I'll catch up on the MMA Guru tomorrow. Massive fan of that guy, by the way. He takes a lot of criticism and a lot of stick. Also dishes it out a lot, to be fair. And then I'll catch up with MMA Twitter, couple of interviews, and the post-press conference. What time mass do you go? What time mass do you go on Sunday? Do you mean church, brother? It'll be about 10:30, that. Anyway, boys, yeah, thank you for tuning in and thank you for staying. That is my fight night predictions. He dragged on a little bit. I only wanted to do an half an hour one, but obviously the comments, I can't ignore them. I've got to answer them, haven't I? So yeah, much love, brothers. I'll catch you on the next one. I might even do a reaction video tomorrow. Yeah, I might rewatch it and give you a little bit of a reaction video. Let me know anyway. Peace. Subscribe and drop a comment, drop a like, and on my recent vlog. Much appreciated. Safe.